भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Yes, so now we are continuing with our discussion on the second part of the Shiksha Ashtaka. O son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet. Ai Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Budho. Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sthitidhuli Sadrisham Vichintaya. So, see, in the previous verses we have seen, the Lord is, in the first verse, Lord has explained the nature of the holy name. You know, what is the Yuga Dharma? We have discussed so many times about the chanting of the holy name, what is Yoga Dharma. Now we are seeing what Mahaprabhu has explained. Okay, that the holy name purifies the heart, it brings peace and happiness to the heart, and it increases the bliss which one experiences in the association of Krishna, because the holy name is none other than Krishna himself. In the second verse, Mahaprabhu explained that the holy name has all the potencies. Simply by reciting the holy name, one's heart becomes completely purified. And it is only our misfortune that we do not have attraction for chanting. Mahaprabhu says, Namnam Akari Bahudha Nija Sarvashaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kala. Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdeva Idrasham Ihajani Nanuraga. That it is my misfortune that I am not attracted. And that misfortune is due to the offenses. So there are 10 direct offenses to come into the holy names. And then there are indirect offenses like offending the living entities and other things. In the fourth verse, Mahaprabhu showed the mood with which the devotee chants. You know, Tranadapi Sunichena Tarori Iva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. That is, one should always chant in the mood of total humility. So, in this regard, I would just like to point out a few things which our acharyas have mentioned also. See, of course, in day to day affairs in our life, we have to be practical. We take practical steps. Okay, this is how we have to do things, this is how we should not do. Okay, so this is my enemy, that is my friend. But in the pure devotional stage of life, one sees everything in relationship with Krishna. So everything is seen in relationship with Krishna. So the enemy, the friend, they are all with respect to Krishna. So what is my enemy really? My enemy, there's no enemy in this world, it's just a reaction of my past bad karmas. So that because of that, someone has become my enemy and is causing me harm. So I should not see that this person is my enemy, but I should understand that this is just happening because of my own past karmas. All kinds of difficulties we are facing are because of our prarabdha, our past sins. Therefore, we should be humbly accepting it. In this way, in this humble state of mind, one can render devotional service. Otherwise, one will be always in anxiety. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has explained that, so this is my enemy, now I have killed him. So much I have today, so much more I will get in my future. This is my enemy, now I have killed him. This is the thinking of a demonic person. He's always making plans. But a devotee knows that there is no planning really, because everything is coming from the past karmas. In this birth, I should just try to realize Krishna. So this was the third verse. In the fourth one, no desire to, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye. Mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktir ahetuki tvai. Na dhanam, I don't want any wealth. Na janam, no followers. Jana word means followers. I don't want any followers. Na sundarim, not beautiful women. So in this regard, actually it is said that renunciate should stay away from Kanaka, Kamini and Pratishtha. Kanak means gold, Kamini means woman, and Pratishtha means wealth, fame. Because these are just material entanglements. On from a karmic point of view, from a karma kant point of view, these things are desirable. Even the king of heaven desires all of these. Therefore, Indra is putting so many obstacles on the path of aspiring munis. He steals the horse when Prithu Maharaj is performing his Ashwamedha Yagya. He sends Menaka to disrupt Vishwamitra Muni. In this way, he's always fearful, always in anxiety. Someone will take away my position. So, when one has a desire for wealth or followers or women, then one cannot meditate on Krishna. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth. When Srila Prabhupada came to America, Prabhupada writes that I had no interest. In 1970, there was a lot of disruption going on in ISKCON. Some disciples were trying to take over the movement, and Prabhupada tried to reform them. But when he saw that there were too many egos there, Prabhupada simply wrote a letter. He said, "You men are now qualified. Please take over this mission. I will return back to Vrindavan. I have nothing more to do. I have given you what I had to." And when the disciples realized that now Prabhupada is seriously going to leave America, then they came back to their senses. This is the history of our movement. So we can see that Prabhupada was not attached to any of this. In fact, when we hear the history of ISKCON, we think that Srila Prabhupada was living in America, Europe, Australia, and just traveling around. Actually, that's not the case. Practically after 1972, Prabhupada was spending most of his time in India only, mainly Bombay and Vrindavan. And towards the later part, 75, 76, Mayapur. So Prabhupada was not really attached to any of the things which he himself had accumulated. He just did it all for Krishna. Prabhupada did not even keep all the gifts that he would get. He would just distribute them the very next day. So you see, this is how a Bhagavat lives. So Mahaprabhu here is indicating the character of a Shuddha Bhagavat, pure Bhagavat. Fame, what do we want fame for? See, wealth, beauty, fame, power, knowledge, all these are attributes of Krishna. They are his wealth. Why should we desire any of these? So, fame, why should one want to be famous? Sometimes we read in Bhagavatam that one should aspire to be a famous devotee of Krishna. But that means that one should just desire to be known, to be just known as a devotee of Krishna. Whether he is widely known or little bit known or unknown, he doesn't care. If at all he has to be known, he should be known only as a servant of Krishna and nothing else. And even there, great devotees like Madhavendra Puri, Ishwar Puri, they stayed away from general masses. They would not publicly display their devotion. So, devotee does not want fame also. What is the use? In fact, of all the wealth, fame is practically the most useless of all opulences. What value is fame? Okay, if someone says, "Oh, so and so Prabhu is great. What is the value of that? How does it please Krishna?" In fact, it's an indication of envy of Krishna that instead of making Krishna famous, I am using Krishna's name to make myself famous. So one should stay away from all these. Okay, now in the fifth verse, he says that somehow or the other I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet. See, great Acharya, great devotees of the Lord themselves do not fear this material world. They know that Krishna is protecting them. But Mahaprabhu is playing the role of a sadhak. And even as a pure devotee, a pure devotee is also afraid of this world because there is so much suffering here. A devotee is paradukha dukhi. He feels unhappiness at others' misery. So naturally, he doesn't want to be in this material world. He knows he himself is not covered by this illusion. But when he sees other living entities in illusion, he is pained. He can feel their pain. So therefore, Mahaprabhu is praying to be picked up from this ocean of death. Now comes the sixth verse. Nayanam galadashrudharaya vadanam gadgad ruddhaya gira pulakair nichittam vapu kada tav naam grahane bhavishyati. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with the tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your holy name? A very important point, this one. Mahaprabhu, I mean, he is Krishna himself. He is Radha and Krishna. He is Krishna in the mood of Radharani. That means he is supremely pure and he's imbued with the loving potency of Shrimati Radharani, Ladini Shakti. And yet, he is praying like a fallen soul. When will my eyes be decorated with tears of love? He's not saying, I am such a great devotee, look at me. I am thinking of Krishna. Wow, I love Krishna so much. No, he's saying that I don't love Krishna at all. I am thinking of everything in this world, but I am not thinking of Krishna. When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your holy name? So he's not saying that I have achieved something. He's saying that I am yet to achieve any devotion to Krishna. In fact, if we read the Sri Shad Goswami Ashtak, there's a beautiful line. Ai Nanda Tanuja, he, he, he Radhe Braj Devi ke, he Lalite cha Vishakhe, he Nanda Shuno Kuto. That, O Radha, the queen of Vrindavan, O Lalita, O Vishakha, O son of Nand, where are you? Srila Prabhupada explains in this song, he's explaining that the six Goswamis are not saying, "Oh, I saw Radha. Oh, I saw Krishna. I saw their pastimes." No, they're saying, "My dear Lord, when will I see? Where are you?" They are searching madly from forest to forest in Vrindavan. So this is the mood of a devotee. they are not they are not thinking that now I have achieved Krishna. Now they are feeling that I have no love for Krishna. Mahaprabhu himself says that I have no love for Krishna. Otherwise, how am I sustaining this body? Even in material world, we see sometimes people leave their body when someone they love dies. In fact, in UK, there's a study that they did a study amongst old couples. When one person died, the partner died within a gap of 2 years, and it is actually it has a name, broken heart syndrome. So one becomes so broken hearted that they are not able to sustain life itself. So Mahaprabhu is explaining that when will my voice choke up? I have actually no love for Krishna. So Mahaprabhu is not desiring to see Krishna, he is desiring to desire Krishna. He's saying that I am completely devoid of all desire. I am just struggling. Mahaprabhu is playing the role of a sadhak here, that I have no love for you. Yugayitam nimishena chakshusha praprashaitam shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. Oh Govind, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. So, this is devotion. This is devotional service. Not that, oh, now I love Krishna. Now I know Krishna. Okay, Jai Ho, Jai Prabhuji, Jai Mataji. No, no, no. Real devotion is that one feels separation from Krishna. I'm not seeing Krishna. I'm just noticing buildings and cars and men and dogs and other things. But I'm not seeing Krishna. When you start feeling this separation, then you should start thinking that now you have attained some advancement in bhakti. So many times devotees have asked me, Prabhu, how do we understand we are advancing in devotion? So this is the test. This is the test. Are you feeling separation now? Or do you still think this world is a nice place? I'll give you one very extreme example. Now imagine someone you love very dearly has a terminal disease. Husband, wife, mother, father, or child. In case of Mataji's, we can say, take the name of your child. And imagine someone tells you, oh, your child has a terminal disease, he won't live for more than 6 months or 3 months. What will you do? Will you go to a theater and say, okay, now let's watch latest movie? What's the name of that? This Hindi movie that has come. Okay, let's go and enjoy. We can come back and worry about it later. Will you think like this? Oh, let's go for shopping. Let's see some latest design has come. Some new design clothing has come. Let's buy that. Will you think like this? Or what will be your reaction? Or will you feel some electricity flowing through your body? A shock so intense that you don't even remember you know that you haven't eaten also the whole day. What will be your reaction? So if you start feeling, so actually that is our position within this material world. Why do you fear death so much? Because you know that as soon as death comes, the relative will be taken away. then no more. Then the child is not going to come back, gone forever. So if we think that this is actually our position within the material world, Krishna is in spiritual world and we are here and we are not seeing him at all. The day we start feeling that level of unhappiness, that is the day we should understand that now we are actually in bhakti. So Mahaprabhu is saying, Shunyayitam Jagat Sarvam. Actually, this is what happens, right? So any one of you who have lost your parents or someone, you must have experienced this at that moment. Shunyayitam Jagat Sarvam. You're not even aware of what's going on in this world. This is devotion. Devotional service is not jumping and dancing and shopping in Vrindavan and Mayapur and enjoying nice prasadam. No, that is good. That's some happiness Krishna is providing. But a devotee is not enjoying any of that. And we have so many examples. Srila Madhavendra Puri was constantly crying. He would not even sit in one place. He would be constantly wandering through the whole of India. He was in constant separation from Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he composes this at the end of his, towards the end of his leelas in this material world. And he's writing like this, that I am feeling your separation. And Mahaprabhu was always crying at this stage. There was no more Sankirtan, no more preaching. In the last few years of his pastimes, when he settled down in Nilachal, there was no more preaching. Mahaprabhu was constantly in separation. He was a madman. Yeah, I mean, in the Antya Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita, you can read some of these pastimes. Mahaprabhu was once they once he was sleeping, and the servant was sleeping by the door, and he disappeared at night. And they were searching everywhere, and then they found out that Mahaprabhu had actually drowned in the ocean. Fisherman caught him. All his limbs had become limp and extended because he saw the ocean at night and he thought it was Yamuna. It looked like Yamuna to him because the water was dark at night. Another time he saw Chatak Parvat, a small sand hill on the beach, and he thought that it was Govardhan and he was running to catch it. And yet another time they locked him inside the room. And when they opened the door, they found that his was completely bloodied. He had rubbed all the skin of his face, rubbing it on the walls, crying for Krishna. Now, isn't this exactly the condition of bereavement? So, this is advancement in bhakti. This is real advancement. Not that, okay, now I am a pure devotee. Haribol, I am doing pure devotional service. So, you should respect me. No, pure devotional service means that one has no sense of this world at all. One does not care for anything in this world. That was the condition of Madhavendra Puri, Ishwara Puri, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that is pure Bhagavad Bhakti. That is pure devotional service of the Lord. One does not say that, okay, I love God. No, at that stage, one simply misses God. He has nothing else left in this world except for God. So this is, oh, Govinda, feeling your separation. So he thinks every moment is like years and years. When you are experiencing great misery, time does not pass. The pain is so intense. So this is the pain of separation that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is feeling. Hmm. And now the last verse. आश्लिष्य वा पादतां पिनष्टु माम् अदृशनान् मर्महता करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः. I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Krishna is saying, Sarva dharman parityajya mama ekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. Abandon all varieties of religion. So the word is used there is dharma, as Prabhupada translates that as religion. Elsewhere, Prabhupada says religion means, dharma means duty. So abandon all duties, all conceptions, all religions. Just surrender unto Krishna. And what is that surrender? You know, even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken hearted by not being present before me. So Mahaprabhu here is praying in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And if you see the pastime of Krishna, actually, if you read the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, you will find that Radharani is actually married to a person called Abhimanyu. So she's essentially a wife of somebody else. So this is the mood of separation. It's not that she meets Krishna every day. Okay, Krishna is passing by and saying, hello, good morning. No, nothing. It's very rare. They have to steal glances. They have to steal moments to meet each other. So this is the mood in which Radharani and other gopis are always living. In fact, in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, it is described that immediately after the Brahma Vimohan Leela, when Lord Brahma stole all the boys and cowherd men, all the cow, this little calves, calves and cowherd boys, that very year all the gopis were married to all the Gopa boys because they were Vaishyas, the boys were not brahmacharis. So they were married, that was child marriage. So technically all the gopis are married to different Gopas. So they naturally have no time to see Krishna face to face. So uh, all this Ras Leela that we're talking about, all this Swakiya Bhav, Parakiya Bhav, they are all existing in the minds of the gopis. There is no physical union. Vyog and Sambhog, this Sambhog is not really taking place. So this pure devotional service is always in the mood of separation. So this is the secret of bhakti. So when you start feeling separation from the Lord, that is actually real achievement of pure devotion. And it's not just in the Gaudiya Parampara. We're even talking about great devotees like Madhvacharya or Ramanujacharya. None of them is claiming, okay, now today I saw the Lord, now I'm sitting with him. No, they are only meditating on the Lord. They are not claiming to have seen him every day. So these 8 verses, the Sri Shiksha Ashtakam of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is actually a condensation of the pure devotional service that we are going to read in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we saw the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as an ideal Bhagavat. We have a glimpse of Srimad Bhagavatam in the Sri Shiksha Ashtaka. And now when we start with the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, we will understand, first of all, how to understand the Supreme. So it is all nice and fine to talk about pure devotional service and pure love of Godhead, but we really need to understand how to achieve that bhakti. So this stage we have discussed here, how to achieve these stages. Hare Krishna. Yes, any questions or comments? Okay. So let's do one thing. We have
There is something in the chat. Okay.
yeah. Yes. So we are really nowhere. Hare Krishna. Yes, we are nowhere, but we have to advance. So now we are going to discuss the science of Krishna consciousness, or as Srila Prabhupada describes, this is the path of pure devotion, starting with the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is compared to the lotus feet of Krishna. So if you start from here, it is said that when you take darshan of the deity, you start with the lotus feet, then you meditate on the calves and the shins of the Lord, then you meditate on the thighs, then you move towards the abdomen, the chest, and the arms and the hands of the Lord, and then you meditate on the neck of the Lord, and then you take a look at the lotus face of Krishna. So when one takes darshan like this, his heart becomes completely purified. This is the proper respectful way of taking darshan of deities in the temple. So when we start with the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, this will be the first stage of purification. Advancing from the first canto through to the 10th canto, we will have complete look at the personality of Godhead. And if one diligently studies the Srimad Bhagavatam, following all the rules and regulations and chanting the holy names, one will become a pure devotee. Okay, progress will depend on how sincerely we do this. Okay, so maybe time is up. Anyone has any questions or comments? Otherwise, from Wednesday, we start with the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Chaitanya Shikshastakam prayers, like in the temple, almost most of the ISKCON temples, they recite these
Hmm.
words every day in the morning. So recommend devotees should try to chant them daily?
It's a nice idea. It's very good. So one should not simply recite like a parrot all the eight. I mean, their eight is very simple. They're very easy to remember. But one should meditate on each of these. I've seen in temples it is usually chanted before they start chanting. So by chanting this eight verses and meditating on them, one will actually understand what we are doing. Why are we doing this? Why are we chanting the names of Krishna? One will gradually learn this. So what should be the mood? Why are we chanting the holy name? And what should be the mood while chanting? And what do we expect to achieve by chanting? These things we'll understand if we meditate daily on these eight verses.
You can just find out like if all of them are well versed with the way to chant these verses, or there are some devotees who don't know about it.
We can put these eight verses up in the group, Prabhu, maybe.
Okay, Prabhuji, I'll put that verses.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
These are the
Yes, so
these are the translations of that verses, English translation of those verses itself. So we'll put the verse also.
yeah, that'll be a great idea. And reciting them actually is purificatory, because this is coming from our Sampradaya Acharya Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is setting the mood for, I mean, essentially, this is meant for the whole of humanity. To use the word our Sampradaya is also kind of like sectarian. These whole teachings are completely non-sectarian. But if you recite these verses, these are the essence of all the scriptures. Right? So thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Srila
you,
Prabhupada ki jai.
devotees.
Jai Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna,
very
Prabhuji.
much.
Dandot pranam.
Dandot
Hare
Pranam. Thank you.
Krishna.